On Friday and Saturday night, there's going to be a lot of high-level mixed martial arts on display because we've got a double dose of the UFC. Friday night is the Ultimate Fighter Season 28 finale, and then Saturday in Adelaide, Australia, UFC Fight Night 142. But my name's Flyin Brian J, and I'm here to talk about my top 4 fights that I think you need to pay attention to this weekend. Number 4 happens on Saturday between Jake Matthews and Tony Martin. Both men have competed at lightweight and welterweight, but have found their most recent success and are unbeaten after moving from the former to the latter. They also had impressive first-round finish victories in their respective last times out. Matthews has chalked up 2 Fight of the Night performances in his career, and although Martin has yet to receive a post-fight bonus in the UFC, his last time out he probably deserved one with a highlight reel head kick knockout of Ryan LaFleur. It just happened to be at UFC 229, which had plenty of performances worth a bit of cold hard cash on that card. I love the stylistic matchup because both Jake and Tony have impressive grappling skills in their arsenal and have shown vast improvements with their striking as of late. I feel like this fight is flying under the radar, and I just wanted to alert you that you need to be paying this one your attention. Number 3, the co-main event of UFC Adelaide between the legend Mark Hunt and a rather inexperienced prospect Justin Big Pretty Willis. Do I really need to go on after saying the Super Samoan's name? I mean, come on, he's the king of the walk-off knockout. I get it, you might be thinking about his ho-hum professional record, but he either gets a fabulous finish or gets stopped in an exciting way. In 28 outings, he has seen the judges only 6 times. Plus, he often talks about retirement or at least leaving the UFC, so with his potential fights numbered, we should always pay him our attention when he makes the walk to that cage. His opponent, Willis, is extremely young in the sport at just 7-1, but possesses a gaggle of potential. As a former collegiate American football player, he has a lot of raw athleticism for this sport, which is currently being groomed at AKA by the likes of Daniel the Double Champ Cormier. With that grooming, he has developed some really good wrestling, which is usually Hunt's weakness. I could see Hunt scoring a walk-off KO, or possibly we see a grinding victory by a young prospect. Either way, I'm excited for the outcome. Number 2. I know it's the main event of the better card, but Junior dos Santos versus Tai Tuivasa just isn't the best fight of the weekend in my opinion. It is a great fight though, don't get me wrong. Junior dos Santos is the former UFC heavyweight champion, and in my mind, he is a legend. Just look at how many times he's been awarded a post-fight bonus. One striking thing to me is that he's been in 2 fights of the night. As a heavyweight, that makes him really exciting, and at the same time makes me think of how much damage he has taken in his career. Of course, he has the potential to shut anyone's lights off in the world with a single overhand right, but I think the UFC might be using his prestige to pump up Tuivasa here. Sacrificing the old and feeding them to the young seems to be a UFC trend lately. Tuivasa entered the UFC and scored a first-round flying knee knockout over Rashad Coulter. Anytime someone does something like that, they get put in a special list that I have on my computer of fighters to watch. His last time out, he showed some savvy and some heart in a decision victory over Andre Pitbull Arlovsky. He is an extremely young, talented heavyweight with worlds of potential. Either we see the known commodity pull one out, or Tuivasa displays the circle of life en route to another shoey celebration. This main event is my prediction for fight of the entire weekend. And number 1, I think this main event deserves the weekend's top spot because it has the most divisional significance. Rafael dos Anjos takes on Kamaru Marty, the Nigerian Nightmare Usman, in the main event of the Ultimate Fighter Season 28 finale. Heavy hitters. Granted, the title implications in this fight are a bit one-sided in favor of Usman, but this 5-round contest is darn near a number 1 contender fight. RDA is the former UFC lightweight champion of the world, and he looked amazing in his first 3 fights at welterweight. In that run, he had a first-round submission victory over Neil Magny, for which he was awarded an extra $50,000. The guy possesses devastating kicks, high-level BJJ skills, and an insane amount of heart, which he has put on display in losses to Tony Ferguson and Eddie Alvarez. His opponent Usman hasn't lost a professional fight since 2013, which was just the 2nd fight of his professional career. I know his style might not be the most viewer-friendly at times because he utilizes his collegiate wrestling background with great success, but he has also displayed knockout power in his ever-improving mixed martial arts arsenal. Full disclosure, while I was in college, I watched Usman dance to Crank That Soldier Boy with the United States Olympic Wrestling heavyweight representative Tervel Delagnev at a talent show in the Student Union, so I've got a bit of a bias toward him. Anyway, the fight itself should be bananas, and it might help us get a clear picture of the top of the UFC welterweight division. Thank you so much for making it to this point in the video. My question for you this week is, what pre-fight rating for these fight cards combined would you give between 1 and 10, with 10 being the best weekend of fights you've ever seen in your life? Please give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one. Namaste.